Okay, now that you know that we have a task list component, which we can use like an HTML tag, we can style our app component HTML a little bit more so that we add sort of a basic structure here. First of all, what we do is we will add a header here. So add a header tag, and inside of that header tag, let me just zoom in a little bit. Inside of that header tag, and let me just get that a little bit smaller here. Header tag, we will just write down task list, for example, and then we can create a body. So open up a body tag and put that task list inside of that body tag. Okay, save it. Okay, now you can go to Git and copy the app component CSS for the header. So what I do is I go again to the CSS file and paste it right into that file. All right, there we go. And we have a linear gradient background for the header, and we have a like font family set and some styling, right? Okay, so let's take a look at the application. Okay, so this is how it looks now. We now got that nice header here, but the space between the header and our component is a little bit too much, so we could go ahead and just remove that padding now. So go into task list component.css, and then let's simply take a look right here for the padding. So just scroll to the very top. And here you can see the padding top. You can adjust the value, you can completely remove it just as you like, depending on your wishes for sure. Now this definitely looks way better. Initially we set the padding just so that when we first started the application, the component wasn't really at the very top, because that always looks a little bit weird. Awesome, so now it looks definitely way better. As I said, components are the primary building blocks of an Angular application, and you should never forget that. You can compose different components together to create an entire page. App component is the root component of our application. It's always provided by default. It's called the Bootstrap component. In an Angular application, other components usually load into the app component. So exactly what we have done. We have the app component, and inside the app component we load our task list component. But how do applications distinguish between the Bootstrap and the rest of the components? Now let's take a look at the app module. I already talked about that just to give you an idea. The add ng module directive accepts a Bootstrap property which contains the Bootstrap component. You might wonder what a module is, right? Modules are TypeScript classes. You can see that right here. They can package multiple components. Whenever we create a new component using the Angular CLI, it automatically adds the new component to the declarations array of the module, right? Just think back, when we created our component, you saw 4 create statements, like create a new HTML, CSS, and TypeScript file, and you also saw that update app module, right? And this is what happened. Inside of our app module, the task list component was added into the declarations array. And this declarations array contains the components that this module packages. So if you remove the task list component from the declarations array of the app module, the app component won't be able to load it anymore, and calling its selector will throw errors. The app module is the main module of an Angular application that Angular creates automatically when you generate a new application using the Angular CLI. You can also create new modules on your own. You can create as many modules as you want and package some components into each. You can import a module to another to share its components with the importer. To create a new module, we can run the ng generate module in the root directory of the project and then name the module. Angular creates a new folder with the module's name then, when the folder doesn't exist already, and generates the module class into the folder.